Okay, gang, so this is already a bonus question, and I don't know what folks answered for this, so if there's really no right answers, we can throw this question out. But
If there's one issue right answer from Marcus.
well, we'll consider this.
I actually think I found the creature.
Well, that's actually not the creature. Those 3 little lumps in there. Yeah,
Well,
it's
they're
not.
little-
But
they're
it is
little
cool.
beetle things.
Good spot. I saw that too, and I was like, what? Anyways, so first of all, is this sign fresh or old?
Old.
It's old, right? And so what it's had a chance to do is open up. That's why this would move into bonus. Well, it's already a challenging question. It's already definitely a level 3.
Is it ovipositor stuff?
It is, but by a certain critter.
I didn't know what critter it was.
And so,
What did you say?
who's been actually,
Ovipositor.
Price, I would ask you about
don't-
this. What does it sound like down here along the river in terms of invertebrates in the summer?
Well, I kind of like saw what you're looking at over your shoulder in the book, so I'm just gonna be. It's like loud buzzing.
Yes, it is.
It's
Yeah.
where you, Justin, it's where you insert eggs
Oh, sorry.
into.
Yeah. So what happens here, Marcus? What did you put? You've seen this before.
I put cicada.
Cicada. Okay, cool. That's what this is.
Cool.
So what happens is, and what was a challenge about this stuff is that
Do you know that?
it's all old. But what happens is when they come through and they have this kind of like little razor ovipositor, and they literally hold on here, and you can watch the females, and they cut, and they'll create these slits, and they lay rows of eggs in there. And what happens is those eggs will emerge. They pop out as little teeny tiny pupae or whatever they're called. I can't even remember at this point. My brain is fried. And they fall to the earth and begin their years, however, depending on the species cycle, where they cruise through. Then they will pop back out. There's a few holes around down here that are all old and shitty and wore out as well, because this is all old and shitty. I couldn't find anything fresh, but this is what it looks like, and this is what it looks like as it ages. What's kind of cool about this is that you can see blooms of this across the landscape, and I don't know, it just seems like the cicadas recently, at least where we are, haven't been as heavy as they were when this stuff was made. Sometimes it just,
It's not out here.
sometimes it's so intense. Oh, sorry.
I've been trying to save her.
Thank you. So anyways,
Now,
Sounds
just
exactly
willows,
what it is.
all sorts of trees.
all kinds of trees. You'll see it on juniper, on oaks,
Okay.
on pinon
So,
even.
I would
Yeah.
ask
Let go of
you why. I don't know. I have real issue with a lot of like insect sign, because I feel like there's so many tens of thousands of insects, and the amount of information that people know about them is so small that it's, to me, it's the epitome of like confirmation bias, you know?
Sure.
When we were looking at really obscure insect stuff, unless we've seen things doing that and we know that there's nothing else, like we have a master list of species and we know there's nothing else that does that.
Yep.
So I don't know. I just don't see the value. I see the value in the discussion. I don't see the value in it as a question.
Great. I appreciate that. What I will say is that, for one, what is actually really cool, especially with, imagine what cicadas do to orchards across North America. What's really cool is there was even books written in the 40s and 50s, like Insects of North America, that really focus particularly on super destructive insects. And we actually, as human beings, as a primate that grows shit, actually know a lot of stuff about all the various species of things, and about the process of what it does and what it looks like. This happens to be one of those things that is pretty like cicadas. You get those big singers, and they create really bold signs.
I hear that, but I also found two things in the book that look very similar that are not even related to cicadas. Like a longhorn beetle does a similar thing where it's cutting in the bark. Blackhorn tree cricket. I mean, I'm just saying, tree hoppers is another one that does a similar thing.
Sure.
Like, so
Sure. But can you tell me about the length of the cuts they make and stuff?
This says 1 centimeter long for cicadas.
Yep. Okay. Yep. And well, they will be longer, and you can actually see this. And so the other thing I will say is that as this sign ages, it gets bigger and bigger, and that's one of the reasons it gets harder and harder. So you're right. I cannot say for sure 100% that this is not some weird tree cricket. I would want to know about tree crickets, because I've grown up around tree crickets as well. I've watched cicadas do this. I know what their signs look like. I've watched it age over years and years across lots of environments.
no, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that.
Yes, I hear
because
that.
we know that something looks like something doesn't mean that something else doesn't make a very similar
True.
looking thing that we don't know about. You know.
Yep.
And with insects, I feel like there's just so much unexplored territory.
So what did you put for this?
I put it was that it was a wasp, basically.
Okay.
That it was some type of
Great.
wasp larva.
Yep.
You know, because I've seen so many different types of galls and
Yep.
damage to wood by wasps, and
Yep.
you know, and I found a tiny dead wasp inside one of these that wasn't fully developed. You know, over there.
Yep.
See, but
So-
this says the key component of cicadas says that the ovipositors cut elongated slits that then run into one another.
Okay, well that's not true. It's just not.
Well, according
Because I know, and that's a bummer.
professionals, who
Well-
are two entomologists.
I know.
My
and
question is,
the
does-
fact of the matter is you will see sign like this all the time that does not run into
Does
each other. It's
anyone
just-
have a
it's-
problem if the answer to this had been ovipositor sign?
Yeah, I don't even know what the hell an ovipositor is.
Well,
Oh yeah, something.
okay, but that's not necessarily.
You sound like a
So, but Chris, to address that, this can
I
get
know,
into
but
some of
if
the
the
stuff
question
where
had been,
they
"What
may
is
only
this?"
cover some
would
species.
people still have
Dude, there
issues
is
with
massive
that?
lot of
You know, that's my
There's
question.
massive amounts of cicadas where their slits do not run into one another. It's one of
You
those
know, in
things.
terms of talking
Okay,
about what's
so,
a valid
um,
question, what is that?
a bonus.
This was a bonus. I'm not even sure I'm going to keep this question because, like I said, there's massive amounts of argument. It is old. It's a shame because we spent so much time on it. But what I would say, this comes into one of these things where it's like, cicadas are known for this. They're known to just destroy the shit out of things because of the extent of their sign. You know, not to sorry, I just got distracted.
I'm sorry.
We obviously don't know a ton of stuff about a lot of insects, but it is really interesting. And all of the work we've been doing, I never am like, holy shit, look at how much the tree crickets beat up all of these willows through here. Not to say that that's just not a huge glaring hole in my experience and in my knowledge. It could well be. But you know, when we look at something like this, and when we know, when you can come down here and it's just hums with cicadas in the summer, you know what's going to be happening, you know what sign to look for. You look at this and you're like, damn, that's cicada sign. It's written all over, just the same way we would see beaver sign written all over the river. It's just one of those things. It's an archetypal sign. So I get it. I don't know, you know, now there's like I don't even know what tree crickets are. All I know is that when I look at this, I'm very comfortable being like, damn, that's very, very, very fitting for cicada sign that I have seen in all forms on all kinds of stuff all over the country.
True, but you
Well,
have
hold
to-
on, Dave. Hold
Okay,
on.
go ahead.
With all that said, it's like, this is super old. I couldn't find anything fresh. The other thing I couldn't find is I always like to dig up a hand of their exuvia,
Yeah.
and I
Right,
just
I
can't
would
find it.
That's I started
There's
looking for that. already.
nothing fresh in here, so I am willing to throw this out, but I also am just like, just because I can't say with 100% certainty, but I mean, the challenge with some of this stuff, and Dave, I know you're extremely pleased with this right now, but I mean, some of the problem with this is that, if we really got to a point, you can do this with everything. You just can't.
But yes and no. But yes and no, Casey, because the reason that wildlife
Well, hold on.
tracking,
Let's move, dude.
But
You
okay.
and I can discuss this. We have a lot to cover.
Okay. So you want to?
Okay, this. There's no arguing this. What is this?
Praying mantis.
Praying mantis. Okay.
Praying mantis.
Great.
mantis.
Did these hatch?
Wait,
Or a wasp.
wait.
No. Well, a couple of them look like they might have.
That
think-
could just
I
open
think
up.
they mostly got at.
Hang on, hang on. Yeah. Full of holes.
I don't know.
When it's drilled full of holes, it means
Wrong though,
Yeah,
Casey.
that's-
That's definitely not correct.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
Chelsea's wasp.
I have these are Chelsea's wasps.
Yeah.
I've hatched many
No,
of
he's
these.
saying that they got eaten.
Chelsea's wasps come out, and then like a week or two later, mantises come out also.
Right.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is this a fresh, open hatch thing? When I see
No,
this,
right.
all I'm saying is this thing is not an entirely uninvaded.
True, but
So, yeah.